Hello YouTube! Today is April 10th and I'm going to be doing a garden tour of all of it. I'm going to walk around my memorial garden. I'm going to show you my greenhouse and some other projects we've gotten done, and I'm even going to do a garden tour and show you my food forest all in one. So it's going to be a little bit long, but it seems to be what I kind of like watching in the midst of our quarantine 2020. And we are doing well over here. Full house, obviously, but nothing to complain about. And I'm just speaking blessing over your homes and over your provision and job security and all those kinds of things. And of course, to stay healthy. I have two surprises. One is in addition to our farm, and the other one is a wildlife thing, and that will be coming as we go too. So let's go. Let's look at the beautiful things that we've got going. And we'll start with my memorial garden, which I'm very pleased with how it's coming along. A lot of bulbs are coming up, blooms are just getting ready to open up, and it feels like we can really count on, well, it doesn't feel like it. The work is here. It's time. It's time to plant things out. It's time to get seeds started. It's time to do the whole thing. And I'm just seriously enjoying it. I love that my hobbies and joys are not taken away from me with the whole quarantine concept. Also, my news on my book front is coming. It's in the works, and I'm super excited. I can actually legitimately start talking about it. There'll be a formal announcement, but that's what I'm doing these days, and it's so exciting. So thank you very much, and here we go. Let's check out some of these beautiful things. Now remember, I just started working on this memorial garden last fall, so to have anything coming up and blooming already is pretty fun. So we have tulips coming up here, and hyacinth in purple, and pincushions, and there's some echinaceas and different flowers planted in between, snapdragon poppies, pansies, phlox. There's just going to be an abundance of color in here when it gets all set up. I definitely have a bird feeder in there. And then I've been growing on the back panel here. I have honeysuckles coming up and a trumpet vine and some different stuff. And I'm really appreciating the beauty that I can see coming up in the cracks. There's daisies and mums and can you guys see this tree right here? Let's see, right there. That is a mock orange tree, and I haven't had it bloom yet, so I'm kind of hoping that the bloom will come up this year. And I did sort of add a bird bath, but nobody's actually used it yet, so we'll see how that goes. But you can see it right in the middle back there. But it's just the bones, but it's pretty exciting. Then over here, we worked on our path, as you can see. And the dog she's eating grass. Keep her tummy settled there. But we did a bark mulch underneath the trees back here, and I have all kinds of things growing in my little flower bed here that's started along between the grass and the bark mulch. And I'm excited about that because most everything in there is stuff I started from seed. And some of it last year, some of it this year, and I'm pretty proud of it when it comes up in seeds. So there's some lupine in there, some calendula, some alyssum that's about ready to bloom. I'll have to show you that up close. And then the tubs are coming back with stuff from last year. I haven't planted anything this year yet. Looking lovely, but doesn't that look just so pretty? Just so pretty. So nice. Just enjoying the whole thing. It's beautiful weather. So here is I call it the choke cherry garden because the big tree is an old choke cherry which is in full bloom. I'll have to show you that. But these little decorative daisies that are here in front, I planted from seed last year, and we got to put some new dirt in here, so it's all just looking so pretty. It's hard to believe that it's here again. It's so here. So I'm looking forward to planting some more greenery in here. I got hollyhocks coming up and a hydrangea there. And then we did the same thing over here. We got ourselves fresh dirt mixed in, and back there in behind where the greenhouse and the flower bed meet, I'm going to plant corn and beans and pumpkins and squash like crazy. Maybe even some of my sweet potatoes if I can get them to take off. Looking lovely. This is just about our view from the back of our kitchen, like out the sliding glass door. And it's just so pretty. It's all so crisp and clean. And I really wanted you to see the cherry tree. Look at that cherry tree. So this time of year, it's all in white, and it's so pretty like that. And then when it fills with cherries, every bird in the neighborhood is in there stealing a cherry out. It's pretty wild with animals, and I just love it. So now we're going to go down to the creek because I have a surprise to show you. Okay, so that tree that goes out over the creek over there has a nest in it, and I wanted to show you the view of it with the whole creek there before I got down close so we can see Mama sitting on her nest. She's trying to stay hidden from me, but she's right up in there. Let's go take a peek closer. Can you see her looking at you right there through the trees? She's so pretty. Maybe she's still too hidden from you. Might need to go get my other camera that can get in there closer. Right, that's about as close as I can get. Do you see her head sitting there? Mama. And there she is. Okay, now for some reason, she has kicked out 2 of the eggs from her basket. And I don't know that they'll hatch or anything, so we're just leaving her alone there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? This is her view all day long. During this quarantine time, just like many of you, it's been interesting and challenging to get used to the changes and to get used to the new pace of life. Tim and I have a house full with just our own crew, so you would think that you wouldn't feel the isolation or the aloneness, but that isn't true. It's different when it's people that your friendships and your family members that you just don't see so much during this time. And I know one of the things that we've been doing is trying to find the little things to be grateful for. It's almost like, well, they're big things and little things, but really just taking the time to see it. The other night we came down here for just to escape the busy home for half an hour, 40 minutes, and we were sitting down further on the creek, and we actually saw a family of 4 beaver playing for a little bit, and we were just appreciating the being still and being settled, and one day in front of each other. And there's just so much opportunity right now for other than that. And and the thing I think for me, being an extrovert, a total hugger, and a person who's so excited about the future and everything that the future offers, it can be a tricky thing to find your contentment with nothing tomorrow or the next day or the next day, like all simple things. And a girl can only learn so many new things, which has been fun. I've learned to make my sourdough starter. I learned to ferment. I made pickled eggs, which I'm not sure are going to be a hit in my home. I learned to distill water using my steam juicer instead of, just so I could make sure I knew how. And all kinds of stuff. And of course, planting and planting and planting more seeds and more flowers, because it is the year of the flower over here, and we are holding out hope that in we have the 2 weddings. Both of them are less than 120 days away. I think we're less than 115 days away. So that's the hope, that we will have reason to have all those flowers, and that it will be a celebration, and that we'll be done with all of this. And that big mantra that my dad and mom have said to me my whole life will be true. And this too shall pass. So I hope you enjoy some beauty. I'm going to go up and show you my greenhouse, and then I'll do a quick garden tour and a quick food forest tour. So if you're still hanging in here, it's amazing. I love wild trilliums. They take forever to grow, like 7 years or something. Aren't they so pretty? Wild. Headed to the greenhouse. I love all the bulbs that have come up. I have some tulips that are coming on. I'll have to show you guys those too. These are not great hyacinths. I'm always curious what these are. So if you guys know what these are, please let me know. These little guys are the grape hyacinth. I just love those little guys. So I planted my catnip out in the bucket because I think it's invasive like mint. And I have my allium bulbs and some chives and strawberries and mint. And these are my beans that I've potted up. They're getting some used to some of the sunshine. That's pretty fun. And I'm not sure if those are snapdragons or balloon flowers that are in that pot because I had both there last year. I think they're snapdragons, but I thought I moved the snapdragon, so we'll see. And those black pots are actually serenities. That's her first garden getting ready to be filled in there. It's pretty fun. So this is the loveliness. We have all kinds of things going on here. My hanging baskets are getting filled in by things that I planted. I will get a water system this year to keep them all alive. I have tried planting up cucumbers and pumpkins and things like that ahead of time to make room. So I wanted to just see, because you know, like what happens with me is I plant them in the ground out. And yet at that time I could go to the store, that's zucchini by the way, I could go to the store and get mature little plants. These are tomatoes going on here. I do have some tomatoes that are struggling that I'll probably replant. But I'm pretty happy with it. Like these are just doing so good on so many different levels. Serenity's little flowers and plants are doing good too. All of her garden stuff, I have it hidden somewhere. I can't think of where it's at here. But look at, these are like, this is like a delicata and it has a random marigold seed in there. Isn't it pretty? They're just so live and green and medicine to my soul. And pretty soon this is going to feed us. And it does seem like an important year to help grow food or at least play around with it. Cool, I got a cord here hitting my face. Let's see, I also have all kinds of flowers and I've been planting out pots with mixes in it. So of course we have things like this. Oh, I gotta move that. I have things like this that have marigolds and petunias and dahlias that I've planted from seed and they're all here looking lovely. So fun. So I do have a heat light in here for if it gets cold at night. And for whatever reason, it's still on. I need to fix my timer, apparently. But it's fun. Fun. What are these little guys called? Coleuses? Coleuses? See? Oh, that lovely. Growing, growing. Just enjoying. My little apple trees bloomed out again. Planted this little guy from seed. I planted a bunch of lavenders out. These ones are the small ones, so I'm waiting for them to get bigger before I plant them out. But look at my apple tree. He's doing pretty good. This I planted not last spring. Did I plant him last spring? Oh, 8/2/18. I wrote the date down. And it is a Fuji apple seed, but I know I won't get a Fuji apple, but maybe I'll get something fun. It's starting to look like a real tree and I'm pretty happy about that. So it wintered over pretty well. I've planted out some stuff in my garden already, and with the weather being nice and warm, I think I'm gonna brave it up a little bit more. So, and I'll show you my peppers down here because I put the peppers out so that I could, because I'm gonna leave them in my greenhouse, because peppers for me, usually I've gotten 1 or 2 peppers off of each plant, maybe 4 or 5, right when the weather turns back to fall. So my goal was to get them started early, to plant them in my hot greenhouse and leave them in here. It's 60 degrees in here now, but the other day it got all the way up to 90 just in the spring temperature, so it was lovely. Here's little forget-me-nots and bachelor buttons, which of course they're in the family of white bachelor buttons, so they can go into bouquets. And here's my carrots. Now I planted some carrots out, and I got some things to show you in my garden. A trellis system and some hoop things. And planting my carrots when they're a little bit grown is definitely working as far as keeping the birds from eating them. For now, we'll see. So here is there's some plants set down in there, and there's some like kales and chards and stuff that'll come out as they're done. But here's my peppers. They're not doing too bad. This one already even has some little baby flowers going on it. And I'm excited about that because that's pretty darn early. Now I don't know if they'll be stunted from being transplanted at such big seeds. See, those are all radishes that are coming on, and there's even a few hiding in there I can see. They're not quite big enough. I have some radishes over here on the other side too. Amidst my melons, there's some radishes back in those tubs too, just for some joy. And here is all of my sweet potatoes, and we'll see if I can actually plant them out. Some of them are rooted really well. Some of them are still coming out of the plant like this. And so we'll see. So I got my nasturtiums, and I'm the most jumbly, unorganized greenhouser ever, but it sure is fun. Green, green, green everywhere. Just makes me happy. Spring, spring. I told you guys I needed to get my forsythia dug out of here and planted somewhere else, and it is. And I started planting those out. So I might have to go back and show you guys some of that other video footage because things have changed so fast and I've gotten so far behind. But maybe I'll throw in some old videos just so you guys can see. So here's the garden update. So see that little hoop tunnel, and there's one right there too. I made 2 of those little hoop tunnels because the birds, there's a movie about that. Yes, they were coming in and eating everything like crazy. And see my metal? This is my version of a trellis system. So I'm gonna stake and tie up each tomato to this system here, and then I'll probably grow something up the poles, and there's little feet on the top of the poles. I think I'll be able to put pots and plants and different things like that, or I don't know exactly yet, but I'm pretty excited about that. My female rabbit's gonna have babies pretty soon, and I have a broody chicken. I might even show her to you. But garlics are coming up, sweet peas are coming up, potatoes are coming up. Just the beginnings, and I'm enjoying every second of it. This is the before recording, before it all blooms into glory, right? Here's the broody mama. Oh, you got 2 of you in there, 3 of you in there. You gonna lay your eggs, all of you? Well, there's one in there, that's the broody mama. That is hilarious. I wanted to catch my pretty tulips before they're spent, because they're so pretty on the inside. They're like a navy blue down in there. And every year a couple more come in, and they're just so pretty. So here is a quick peek at our food forest. Looking good. So right in here, I actually spent some time digging out the ivy. I've been inundated with ivy. You can see it at the base of that tree. So I put in my wood chips, 2 years ago this spring. And then last summer I didn't get to do much because I was busy loving on my mama as she was at the end of her life. And then so I feel like the ivy took advantage of this nice soil that's being made here, and it's slowly creeping in. So there'll be a lot of taking ivy out this year, a lot of burning ivy, because it's just it tries to smother the trees. So I actually planted beans in here, bush beans, and I'm hopeful that they'll come up. I'm a little suspicious if the birds will eat them before I even get a chance. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the birds leave me a few so I can see if it even worked. So in this flower bed, this little bed, you can see the wood around it, I planted my seed potatoes, baby reds and russets, or anyways. So when I chitted my potatoes and I cut them up and I let them harden off, it seemed to me that quite a few of them were more squishy than I remembered them. So I'm a little bit hesitant to believe that these are going to turn into the crop that I want them to. But I just dug one up. Does anybody else dig up their seeds? The farmer that digs up a seed to see if it's growing? And the potato was still firm and it had little tiny eyelets coming up. So it's not going to be here for a couple of weeks. There won't be any green show, but I do think I might get my fruit out of it. I'm pretty excited about this. This is my asparagus bed. Doesn't look like much at the moment, but I've planted it with my own seeds a couple of times. One time I got a sale at the end of the season with these dried up roots from the asparagus. Super cheap, but only 2 of them came up, and this is one of them. So, oh, that's the broken off piece of it, but it comes up from right in here somewhere. So this year I actually started some from seed. So these are my seed asparaguses, and they're actually doing pretty good. There's several plants in here. And then over here I did get like 4 root asparaguses so that I could have an actual asparagus bed. So that's the goal, is to get this to the point where a couple years from now we have a steady harvest of asparagus. So babies, I don't know, I just think they're so cute. And they're so ferny, you know, they're so fluffy. They're so fluffy. That sounds like a Disney cartoon. So here's the food forest. Those are thick choke cherries that'll eventually get thinned out to make more room for growing things. And there's the path that goes back to the mint and artichokes and strawberry. And then they've got a little apricot tree and an apple tree and a little fire pit. And it's looking pretty rough at the moment, but it'll come along. It really will. Okay, so before I wrap up this video and celebrate, I think I said it already, this is my 2nd year. Yesterday was my 2nd year anniversary of starting my garden YouTube channel, and I'm really happy with it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying documenting. Oh, I forgot, I put the duck eggs in my pocket. So on that last note, I have a surprise to show you. It's in the house, and it will eventually have its own version of an egg, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Ready? So is this where the eggs are gonna be? In my daughter's fish tank? No, I mean, they could possibly have eggs, but this isn't the surprise. But I thought you would like to see all of her plants growing in her environment. And here it is. The surprise is underneath my stairs. Look at the babies. Yes, it's the little red glow. Look what I have here. Baby quail. Cornex quail. They're going to be little egg layers for me. And potentially meat birds. We'll see. Look how cute they are. They're just busy all the time. There's 30 of them in there, but half of them are for a friend of mine, so I only have 15 of those. But they're sure happy. So I would say that baby birds is a pretty good way to end a garden video, and also to celebrate 2 whole years of doing YouTube. I'm not as consistent as some, but that's because I'm doing the writing thing at the same time. But for now, how about this? We'll just enjoy us some baby birdie. Can you see him? I think he's telling you he wants out of quarantine. What do you think? Oh, come on, don't wiggle too much. Don't drop him. Yeah? Okay, I'll put you back away. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay. Look at the baby quails. These are, there's 15 for me and 15 for a friend. And they are happily making a mess in their little water dish. They get to be cleaned out today too.